right, so the unemployment rate changed from 16% to 9%, but the base on which it was calculated increased by 20%, meaning it ended up at 120% of what it used to be. So this is my formula, 16% of X versus 9% of 120% of X. And if we do this math out on the right, we can cancel out a 0 here and a 0 here, meaning we have 9 times 12 over 1,000, because we have 100 times 10 on the bottom. And 9 times 12 is the same as 90 plus 18, which is equal to 108 over 1,000. And if we want to represent this with 100 on the base, we need to move over a decimal point. So we have 10.8 over 100.0, and 10.8 over 100 is our situation that we end up with, which means we had a decrease. So we went from 16 down to 10.8. And forget about the percents because that's something they have in common. Let's just compare the tops of the fractions. Now, if we lost 50% of this, we would be down to 8. But we're not down that far. So we didn't lose quite 50%. If we had lost, say, 2%, we would have lost 3.2. And if we'd lost 10%, 1.6. And if we'd lost 3%, 3 times 16 is 48. So it would be 4.8. It's about 5. And that's about this percent change, or that's about the absolute difference here, because we lost about 5. And so I would say that 30% is the closest approximation based on that idea. And you can kind of just solve that visually and approximate it, because of the answers that you have, they're pretty spread out. So again, looking at your answer choices before you solve the question will help you identify that in this situation, it has to be a decrease and it has to be answer choice B.